Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back here from the MLG studios in New York City. My name is axeltoss. I am joined by axslav. You're currently watching the winter season showdowns from pretty much every day leading up to the championship event in Dallas, Texas. We have a best of 5 in Heart of the Swarm to determine who gets those spots. We've got 32 spots there at the tournament. 56 players currently trying to duke it out to join the existing 4 that qualified from the last event. All the Kespa matches happened last week. Amazing matches. There's Innovations versus TY, Parting versus Fantasy, Rain versus Flying. A bunch of awesome matches. If you missed them, don't worry. YouTube.com/official MLGSE2 is your source for all of those VODs in 1080p HD. As you're visiting, be sure to support MLG and drop a subscribe. If we get to 5,000, we're giving a bunch of beta keys out away. Of course, the beta is not too far from ending. And we have a lot of beta keys, so we have to give them away somehow. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get to 5,000. That being said, today is Europe Week, one of my favorite weeks of the year. And yesterday we had Snoop versus Sase. Today is Nerchio versus Babyknight. And this series is becoming everything I hoped it would be.
It is. It's a great series. Nerchio showing amazing game sense knowledge of defense, offense. Babyknight really showing his experience with Heart of Swarm, utilizing the recall ability, Photon Overcharge, Tempest. You know, he knows the role of each of these new units in the Protoss arsenal.
Yeah, it's great to see. And honestly, Nerchio with great Nidus play. But Babyknight, I mean, he was able to stay in the game after the Nidus. Like, most players out there, I think, would just die. Maybe I'm just talking about myself, but I would just die to a Nidus. Unscouted. But he was able to recall back, lost some sentries in the process. Not sure how you prevent that from happening. I guess position your sentries further back when you're recalling?
Here's a good question. Can you control where you end up recalling? Like, you know, when you recall back to Nexus, can you point to a certain orientation on Nexus? Because when he recalled, he was stuck at the bottom right of the Nexus, and that's right where the Zerg units came in.
I think when he recalled, that's where his units were, underneath the Mothership Core.
So
if you want your units to recall to the back, put your units in the back area of your Mothership Core, and then they'll recall in that same position.
That might work.
At least relative to where the Mothership Core is. But yeah, I mean, Babyknight lost a lot of probes there, was able to stay into the game, but Nerchio able to have awesome unit positioning, awesome decision-making, and able to convert to victory. That being said, I'm excited to game number 3. It's going to be on Cloud Kingdom. These guys are tied 1-1. Again, such an important match. The winner of this best of 5 gets that spot at the Winter Championships in Dallas, Texas on March 15th. So these guys are going to be trying their hardest, and we'll have to see how they adjust their strategies as this series goes along. And here we are, bottom left-hand location of Cloud Kingdom. We have the Red Zerg player Nerchio from Team Acer. His opponent in the top right-hand location, the Blue Protoss player Babyknight from Team FXO. Very evenly matched opponents. And if you haven't already, guys, get on the community sites. Tell people this is going on because this is awesome, and we want everyone to be able to enjoy this experience, these amazing matches. Get on Team Liquid. Mr. Nick made a nice little Team Liquid thread. Join the conversation there. Type a little paragraph up of Protoss versus Zerg of this matchup. Who's doing better? How awesome are these strategies? There's also a Reddit thread. Reddit.com/r/STARCRAFT. I made a thread there. Go join the conversation there. Interact with your community as these matches are going on. I promise it makes the experience a lot more fun, and it gives you an opportunity to discuss these amazing matches rather than just hearing us discuss them.
You can do both at the same time, of course.
Absolutely.
And in fact, if you leave comments on the YouTube VODs, I believe we do comments of the day, or comments of the week, something of the sort.
Yeah, if you're watching this on VOD, feel free, drop a comment below, and have a little conversation with the other YouTubers. Because I know there's a great community there, and I do adore every single one of you guys.
So it seems Nerchio has chosen to keep with this gas before expansion idea, and I like it. I mean, the early speed really helps him deny those early mothership pushes Babyknight has been using, although this game looks like he's going for Nexus first. Babyknight will have a decisive economic advantage going forward, but he's got to be paranoid about different type of speedy Nolans, and Nerchio can employ that very fast lair attack.
Now, we were talking about this a little bit, like how much is the metagame going to change going in the Heart of the Swarm, and we discussed 2-base Zerg might be what it's centralized upon, whereas the later stages of Wings of Liberty, we saw Zerg players just taking thirds at the 3-minute mark, not getting gas, prioritizing drones. But now I feel like in Heart of the Swarm, when Zerg players do that, they're becoming very vulnerable to these Mothership Core aided gateway pushes. So are we seeing the metagame change a little bit in Heart of the Swarm as far as Zerg players getting to 2 base, getting those early gases, and then slowly but surely taking that 3rd base, maybe teching up a little bit before them?
I think we will eventually as the beta stands now. I mean, the 3 base play has been nerfed in 2 ways. One is, as you mentioned, the Protoss pushes are stronger because of the Mothership Time Warp and Recall abilities. And then also, that the early Zerg units on the aggressive end, trying to put pressure on a Protoss 3rd base, are weaker because of the Mothership Time Warp and Photon Overcharge abilities. It's very hard to get anything done aggressively with Roaches in that like 9 to 12 minute mark range. Of course, after 12 minutes, Roaches lose a lot of their value. So that type of play is getting weaker. On the other hand, Zerg Lair Tech is getting stronger because Mutalisk got stronger. Infestors got a little bit weaker, but you also have some Swarm Host rushes you can do that are actually pretty powerful. Look at this, though. Nerchio decided, you know what, I do not want to be this far behind economically. If I go Gas first and you go Nexus first, I've got to kill you because the mid-game will be too disadvantageous for me otherwise. Going for that Babyknight all-in, and oh, is Babyknight going to see lack of a 3rd base?
If he sees a lack of a 3rd, the alarm bells will start ringing. He's going to have to start reacting. And there we go. Sees the lack of a 3rd, going to make his way towards his opponent's natural expansion.
Oh, the Queen's got to deny this. He can't. If he lets him see there's no drones, it's over.
The speed's going to kick in.
Oh, he saw the drone transfer. And he saw no speed. This is actually good for Nerchio.
Yeah, because if you see that many drones, you're like, all right, he has a bunch of drones in his main base if he's transferring that much.
And there was no speed on his Zergans when it came.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is in Wings of Liberty, you'd be worried because he saw no 3rd. But the last 2 games, Nerchio went no 3rd, but went Fast Lair. So he's thinking, okay, it's probably Fast Lair. Guess what, buddy? It's not Fast Lair. It's a whole bunch of Babyknights crashing down your door.
Oh, gosh.
This is going to be really scary for Babyknight to hold this.
Babyknight has to have instrumental force fields. He
There's
will have
only
2 available.
Pylon guarding that cannon.
Oh, he just used the force field. The Banelings, they're going to target the pylon. This sentry needs to get out right now. Force field. Oh, he gets the force field down. The clutchest force field I've seen in a while. Babyknight is still going to have his hands full dealing with this.
There's no DPS. The cannon can't shoot. As soon as that force field wears off, yeah, the gateway's unpowered.
He's going to target the Banelings with the Mothership Core.
Great play there. Great.
Look at this wall off.
Great pylon wall off.
Oh my gosh.
Is he going to hold this?
I think he... Okay, hold on. He's targeting down this pylon. It's getting weaker and weaker. Babyknight desperately trying to hold this off. And there's the GG. Babyknight holds.
Wow.
He did not know anything about that until the Lings tried to crash through that spot in between the gateway and Forge. Threw down the force field. Then the Banelings came in. The sentry came in at the perfect moment. It popped out of that gateway and was able to get the force field down before the Banelings and Lings could get in.
You know, that was something that if that sentry came out half a second later, it would have been game. Because if that second sentry didn't pop, he wouldn't have won the game.
Maybe we should watch that again.
Yeah, let me see if I can grab that exact point. And then, I mean, there was so close. I feel like even after that happened, Nerchio could have really... So here the Banelings come in, knock out this first pylon, and the sentry popped out literally like a second ago.
Yeah.
If this second sentry didn't get out of the gateway before it became unpowered, that would have been game over. Because the speeds would run in to kill everything. As it is, though, this force field bombed time, and then he was able to get this pylon wall in behind that force field just in the nick of time. You know, what's interesting
here... Look at his
here,
money. Like, he doesn't have a lot to spend.
No.
And he's able to get all this stuff up.
You know what I wonder is right here, instead of giving up, what if Nerchio pulled away some speedlings and just made, like, let's say he just made 8 more, because look at his gas, right?
Yeah.
He could have made, backed up, right now he has enough for 5 Banelings, maybe with the 2, because he had 2 in here before they were focused down by Mothership Core. Those 2 plus 5 more, and he could come back. And there's not going to be...
no gateways powered.
Yeah,
is that the only gateway?
This is the only gateway.
So no more sentries?
There's no more sentries. These 2 are not going to have force fields up for this guy's going to be 40 seconds.
He is a little bit away from being able to add on cannons here because that pylon's going to complete, and he'd have that existing cannon.
I think he could have backed up then 1 more Baneling bust. And this area here, if you put 5 Banelings in that section, boom, everything's gone.
Yeah.
I feel like Nerchio actually maybe could have won this game.
Maybe that's something in a replay that could be redone, kind of a thing. You can do that in Heart.
Oh yeah, we should test that out at a future point. As it is here, though, of course, you know, Babyknight comes in to take us and win this. Nerchio a little bit disheartened, I feel like.
I mean, Babyknight didn't scout any of that until pretty much until the Lings and Banelings walked in. I mean, he might have had a guess because he saw the lack of a third, and I think he scouted the early gas. So he did scout the early gas, right?
He did.
Okay, so
This probe.
but a lot of things had to go Babyknight's way there,
They did.
and it worked out. So guys, this is a best of 5. Babyknight is up 2-1. Nerchio is not out of it just yet. He is in a little bit of a hole though. Must win 2 games in a row here to get that qualification spot in Dallas, Texas at the Winter Championships. Babyknight is 1 win away. Game 4 coming up.